This is Science Max, Experiments at Large. Science Max!
This is a steel drum. What we've done is we put some water in it and we're heating it up to boiling so there's nothing but hot air inside the drum. This is an airtight cap, which we use to seal the drum. And now we cool the drum off. Hey, Trevor, give me a hand. Ready? 1, 2, 3, you lift! That's good. This pool is filled with ice. What we're doing now is cooling off the steel drum, which will cool off the air inside it. Which means, eventually, the air inside the steel drum will be a much lower pressure than the air outside the steel drum.
Because the steel drum has a lot more volume than a 2-liter pop bottle, it takes a lot longer for the air to cool down. The other thing to think about is that it's a steel drum. I could stand on it and it wouldn't even dent. But sure enough, after a few minutes...
Whoa! Check it out! The barrel has totally crushed. The low pressure air inside the barrel wasn't enough to withstand the force of the regular air pressure that you and I walk through every day. The air pressure all around us is enough to crush a steel drum. How cool is that?
Our air-powered rockets have been working really well, but we still want to go further. Since the 2-liter bottle worked better than the water bottle, we think increasing the size again might make it more awesome. So now the plan is to switch our 2-liter bottle with a 20-liter water cooler jug and make a rocket out of that. Because the launcher nozzle, which holds the bottle in place till we're ready to launch it, isn't going to fit the opening of this bigger jug, we've decided to use the cap that came with the jug. If we screw the cap on, it'll work sort of like the cork. The air pressure will press down on the water and keep pushing against the cap until the cap has a catastrophic failure, which is a very cool way of saying that eventually the cap will break and the bottle will shoot into the sky.
20-liter water cooler jug filled with some water. This is the cap that'll work sort of like the cork. We put the air pressure in there, the cap can't take it anymore, pops off, and the thing flies, hopefully. Let's find out. Okay, that looks good. There. Let's do this. Go for pressure! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Hilarious! That worked pretty well. It sort of does that. I wonder if it's aerodynamic.
No.
No. So, what else can we do to make it even more maxed out?
I think we've used the 2-liter bottles that worked really well.
The 2-liter bottles are the best, right?
I think so.
So, what do we do?
I think we probably stack them. We stack them on top of each other.
Yeah.
That worked.
I like that. So we put a whole bunch of them together.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'll do you one better. Why don't we use 3 stacks?
Awesome.
We'll use 3 stacks, 3 launchers, 3 times the thrust, and we'll make a giant rocket out of 2-liter bottle.
Yeah, great idea.
High fives. Here we go. Gas molecules get further apart when you warm them up and closer together when you cool them down. So what happens if you keep cooling them down? Well, they turn into this. This is liquid nitrogen. Nitrogen makes up 78% of the air we breathe, but when you cool it down to minus 196 degrees Celsius, it turns into a liquid. It's boiling right now because at room temperature, nitrogen wants to be a gas. So the liquid nitrogen is turning into gaseous nitrogen, and all of the extra molecules are escaping through the top of the bottle. So what happens if I put a cap on the bottle? Right now, the liquid nitrogen is turning back into a gas, but because there's a cap on the bottle, the gas has nowhere to go. So the pressure is just gonna keep building and building until the plastic bottle can't contain it anymore, and it pops like a balloon. Science!
Our rockets have gone from small to bigger to even bigger. Now the plan is to use 3 2-liter bottles and create columns of them into a giant rocket. We pressurize them just like we did before, but with more thrust, it might work even better. Even if it doesn't work better, I'm pretty excited about this new plan.
Giant rocket! Giant rocket! You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, blast shields down. Connecting hose. Dialing up pressure. Pressure is rising. It's bubbling. Bubbling. 100 psi. Okay, stand by to fire. 3, 2, 1. Whoa! Woo! Awesome! Yeah, let's go check it out. Well, there you have it. Rocket Science Max. Experiments at large. Well done. Nicely, nicely done. Do you think we could fire it again? Yeah, it looks like it needs some repairs, though. Here is something mind-bending you can do with pulleys. These buckets are attached to the table through a pulley. There's nothing holding this table up except for the weight of the buckets pushing down on the table. So if I took the buckets off the table, the weight of the buckets pulls the table up. But because the buckets are on the table, everything is in balance. Mind-bending, right? Okay, wait, it gets better. If I took a weight and I put it on the table, the weight of the buckets isn't enough to keep the table up. So I have to add more weight to the buckets so the buckets pull the table up. Whoa. And there you have it. It's weird, it's mind-bending, it's science. Okay. Ramps. Ramps are a great way to move something up. I will demonstrate using, you guessed it, a book. Let's say I wanted to move this heavy book on top of this stack of books using just this little string. Watch what happens. The string breaks, but if I built a ramp to get the book on top of this stack, and I use the same kind of string, watch what happens this time. Whoa. You see, the ramp distributes the force, so you use less force to pull the book over the same amount of distance, and I can get it up to the top of the stack of books, and the string doesn't break. So ramps, let's put them into action. Woo. My simple machines have worked great. I've managed to get the particle impulse controller all the way to the loading dock. But now it's time for the hardest job. What I need to do is build a ramp that goes from the ground up to the loading dock. Then I need to pull the heavy impulse controller up the ramp. The best way to do that is to use a system of pulleys. I have 3 pulleys on one end and 2 pulleys on the controller. Because I have 5 pulleys working together, I'll only have to lift 1/5 of the weight. The plan is to get it tipped over onto the ramp, then use rollers to help it roll up as I pull on the rope. There's 3 pulleys on that piece of wood over there, and I got 2 pulleys on this piece of wood here. And now, if I pull, and I carefully put the rollers underneath, careful. Perfect! Okay, now it's on the rollers, and now I can pull it up the ramp. Now I gotta carefully put new rollers underneath as I go. Pull it up the ramp. Roller. I know what you're thinking. It still seems pretty difficult. If only the simple machines could give me longer arms. Well, they can't do that. But what they can do is give me the strength to do this heavy job with no one else around but me. Hopefully that won't be a problem. There we go! I did it! All the way across the parking lot and up onto the loading dock with the help of levers, rollers, ramps, and pulleys. The hard part's done. Now I just have to get it into the lab. All right, let's see if all that effort was worth it. I think it's working! Well, there you go. Thanks very much for joining me on Science Max Experiments at Large. I think I'm gonna go home because it's been a long day and I could really use the rest. See you next time. At it, I think I can do it.
I don't think so.
Well, there's one way to find out. No.
No.
Okay, so I can't do it. Is that it?
Well, how about Velcro,
Wow.
right? It'll give you more friction, so you can try climbing with this. We'll give you Velcro knee pads, Velcro shoes.
Velcro. Velcro handholds, Velcro knee pad, Velcro on my shoes, helmet for safety, Velcro fill, Velcro dance. Okay, you ready?
Ready?
All right, here we go. Ha-ha, I did it! Creating friction between me and this ramp means I can stay up here for as long as I... No. No, Velcro. No. No.
Phil, you okay?
Velcro! Friction! Your turn.
No.
Our hover disc worked well. So well that we decided to build another. If we have 2 hover discs, then we can race them using different kinds of friction to push them along. Something that has low friction, like a dust mop, and something that has higher friction, like a pole with rubber balls at the end. Rubber has great friction. That's why we make car tires and the treads of our shoes out of rubber.
Okay, we have a giant race course that we've set up. We've got 2 low-friction hover discs, and I'm gonna use the low-friction dust mop version to propel my hover disc. And Helena, what do you have?
I have the high-friction rubber ball stick.
Start your engines! On your marks, get set, and go!
And we're off. Remember, Helena and I are using very different methods to get our hover discs moving. I'm using a low-friction dust mop, and Helena is using high-friction rubber balls. As you can see, my low-friction dust mop doesn't make enough friction with the ground for me to push myself. Helena, on the other hand, is having no problems.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Go ahead! You can beat him! He's way back! Oh! Bit further! Bit further! He's way back! In for the win! It's the leader! Jake crosses the line!
Yes!
And then we have our winner! Yes! Over the finish line. It feels way back over there.
Oh, man.
I'm still stuck at the second turn. Way to go, Helena.
Thank
Nice.
you.
So what was the strategy? How did it work?
Well, pretty much while I was using those red balls, I was getting friction, helping me steer.
You know what? I think we need a little bit more thrust. That would work even better if we had something pushing us even harder.
Definitely.
Wait! I have an idea. Wait, hold. I need your help. Come on.
Okay.
I'm at iFly Toronto indoor skydiving to talk to you about friction. That's Mike. He's gonna help me out. Okay, here we go.
Unfortunately, we can't hear what Phil is saying because there's too much wind. It looks like he's trying to tell us something about the friction. Yes, he's saying the friction from the air rushing up in the chamber is enough to counteract the force of gravity, which is why he's able to float or swim or whatever he's doing.
Now it looks like he might be saying even something like air can have a lot of friction if it's going fast enough. And the air in this chamber is going fast, which is why we can't hear a word he's saying. Oh, well, he seems to be having fun. So how important is friction? Well, let's say I'm out for a drive. Car tires need friction to grip onto the road. Without it, my car wouldn't be able to turn at all. But that's nothing. Without friction, the bolts holding the wheels on the car wouldn't work. In fact, none of the bolts, screws, or glue on the car would work, and nothing would stop moving or stick to anything else. Even the trees would blow away with the slightest breeze. Friction is everywhere, and without it, nothing would work. Okay, hover disc race round 2. This time we decided to have a little bit more thrust, so Helen and I are going to be using fire extinguishers. Now, do not use fire extinguishers at home. Fire extinguishers have a very important purpose, and it's not for this, but we've got these ones special. Are you ready, Helena?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. Russell?
So, racers, start your engines. And go!
Using fire extinguishers gives us a lot of thrust. But because the discs we're riding on don't have any friction, wherever we point ourselves, we just keep going in that direction, which makes steering very difficult. Cars grip onto the road and can go around corners thanks to the friction of their wheels. When you have no friction, it's kind of like moving on an ice rink. Oh no! I'm out! Yeah! High five! Yeah! High five! Yeah! Okay, wait. Oh, I ran out of fire extinguisher at the end there, so I had to cheat a little bit. So 1 for you, 1 for me, and all of them for friction.
Or the lack of friction.
Or the lack of friction. Science Max, experiments at large. What do we do next? Larger fire extinguishers?
I think so.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
See you next time. episode of Science Max is all about liquids. What makes something float or not float?
Oh no! My loonies!
Liquid density and super absorbent gel.
Who wants to do an experiment with diapers?
Liquids. Today on Science Max, Experiments at Large.
Hey, welcome to Science Max Experiments at Large. I'm Phil McCordick, and hold on a second, I'm just gonna change. Okay, that's better. Now, where were we? All right, let's go make a boat. So you know that some things float and some things sink, like rocks, or wood, or full water bottles and empty water bottles, or carrots, foam, waffles, screwdriver, playing cards, plasticine, tinfoil, potato, my watch. Wait, that wasn't supposed to go in there. So how do you make a boat? You make it out of something that floats, right? Well, most boats are actually made out of metal. Tinfoil is metal and, well, it sinks. But if you fold tinfoil into a boat shape, it floats. And boats don't only float themselves, but they can hold people and cargo. In fact, there's container ships crossing the ocean at this very moment that are holding thousands of tons of cargo, and they're all made of metal, which doesn't float, it sinks. So how do boats do it? Are they magic? No, of course not. Boats are science. And here, you can be science maximites. Get some tinfoil and cut it into the same size pieces and fold a couple different shapes of boats and see which one can hold the most weight before sinking. And now it's time to max it out.
But before we do, here's how you can fold your own tinfoil boat in less than 15 seconds. First, take a square piece of tinfoil, then fold it in half. Fold one corner down and the other corner down. Then open it up and ta-da, you're done. If you want instructions on how to fold a more complicated boat, go to our website.
I have a feeling I'm gonna need a few extra lab coats for this experiment. Like I was saying, let's max out the tinfoil boat and find out a little bit more about why boats float. Okay, well, I'm here at an indoor pool, which is not, I wasn't expecting to be in the pool just yet, but this is where we're gonna build our giant tinfoil boat, so why not? Who's Nia?
Phil, you're wet.
I thought I was gonna come in over there, but I came in on the water sled. I think I had the coordinates wrong. Anyway, this is Husnia, and she's from Let's Talk Science, which is all about science education, right?
Yes.
Just like us. So you're gonna help me max out the tinfoil boat. I think I dropped it in the water. Hold on. Whoa! Here. Where? Here it is. The tinfoil boat. The tinfoil boat.
Phil, this is a boat?
Well, it looked a lot better before I came down the water slide, but that's the idea, and then we make it bigger. What do you think?
I don't think it's gonna work, Phil.
Oh, well, why not?
Tinfoil is very thin, and it might not hold the shape of the boat.
Well, I still think we should use tinfoil, though.
Why?
Well, because the small experiment was tinfoil, and I bought all of this tinfoil.
Then let's do it.
Tinfoil?
Tinfoil?
Okay, high five. I'll take the tinfoil, and you take that, and I'm gonna have to dry off at some point.
Welcome to Shipbuilding for Pirates. I'm Swubby, and I've built some of the finest pirate ships for some of the finest pirates this side of the Caribbean. And I can teach you to do the same. But first, you need to know your basics. Mass and volume. Let's start with volume! But not that kind of volume. Which of these two chests do you think has more volume? Right, this one here. Which of these two balloons do you think has more volume? Right, this one here. Volume is how much space something takes up. Which of these two chests has more volume? That's right, they're the same. But which of these two chests has more mass? Which is heavier? Hard to tell, isn't it? But what if I told you that this one was empty and this one was full of treasure? Oh, loonies. Now, which one has more mass? That's right, this one. These two chests have the same volume, but this one has more mass. This chest has more volume than that one, but this one... My loonies! That chest does not have as much mass. Volume is how much space something takes up, and mass is how heavy something is. And when you look at them both together, you're looking at density. Join us next time on Shipbuilding for Pirates, and then we'll look at how volume, mass, and density work together to make something float. Oh, my precious, precious loonies. Are you all right, my pretties? They can't talk, so I'm not sure what they're saying.
So, Husni and I get to work constructing a large tinfoil boat. Our first design is just sort of a square, folded together out of a very large sheet of tinfoil. Simple, but can I ride in it?
There we go. A giant tinfoil boat, just my size. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo!
I don't know if it's gonna work. It's too thin.
You think it's too thin?
I feel like yes.
What should we do?
Do you want to test it?
Let's test it. Okay, good idea. So here's the most important question. Do you want to test it or should I test it?
No, you test it.
All right, here we go. Putting it in. First test, does it float on its own? Yeah! Floats on its own, no problem. If I just get in very carefully, then it will work fine. See, if I'm careful about how I get in, no, it's fine. See, if I just get in like that.
Oh my! Bill, are you okay?
Wait a minute. It's sort of, no, that's just air. You know what went wrong? It wasn't boat-shaped. I think if we make it look more like a canoe, because canoes float, if we make it look like a canoe, it'll work great.
No, Phil. We need some support. If we add a couple of structures in between, then we add support to it.
I'll tell you what, let's make a boat like I want to make and a boat like you want to make, and we'll see whose is the best.
That's a good idea. Okay, let's do that.
All right, let's do it.
Welcome back to Shipbuilding for Pirates. I'm Swubby, and now we know what volume means, what mass means, and that together it can tell you something's density. Now let's find out why things float. Let's say we're out to sea and my treasure chest gets swept overboard. Oh no! But it's all right. It floats because it pushes enough water out of the way, displaces it to carry its mass. But what if my treasure chest had more treasure in it? Well, we're giving it more mass, but not more volume. Too much mass and not enough volume, and it will sink. Oh no, my loonies! You need more volume if you want to float more mass. And that is why things float. I'm Swubby, and thanks for joining me on Shipbuilding for Pirates.
So, the first version of the tinfoil boat didn't work out too well.
Like that.
But my idea is to build a tinfoil boat more like a canoe to see if a different shape makes any difference.
Tinfoil canoe!
Very Canadian.
Very Canadian. The canoe part, anyway. I don't know about the tinfoil part. So, Husni and I had a bit of a disagreement of why the last boat didn't work. I thought it was because it wasn't shaped enough like a boat, so this one looks like a canoe.
What I thought is that it requires some structure.
Structure so that it wouldn't fold together.
That's right.
And we'll see how it goes.
All right.
All right, here we go. Did it work?
No.
Okay, your idea next. Did you know
It's easier to float in salt water, like in the ocean, than it is in fresh water, like a lake or a pool. That's because not all liquids are created equal. They have different densities. This is fresh water, or it doesn't have anything in it. And this is sugar. If I was to put 1 scoop of sugar in this water and stir it around until it dissolves, now this liquid is more dense than before I put the sugar in. Here's an experiment you can do at home using liquid density. This glass just has regular water with yellow food coloring in it. This glass, green food coloring and half a cup of sugar in it. This one has a full cup of sugar in it, and this one has 2 cups of sugar in it. Now, when you do this at home, you'll definitely want an adult to help you because you have to heat the water if you want to dissolve that much sugar in 1 glass of water. I'm gonna put them all in 1 container. You can do this at home, and when you do, I suggest you use a very small container because you have to be very careful when you put the layers in. You can use a turkey baster or a straw. When you put your finger on top, the air pressure will hold the liquid in and you can just drop it in. But these kind of take some time, so I'm going to use the syringe of science. I'm gonna use the most dense liquid first because that's the one that's gonna want to be on the bottom. I carefully put it on the bottom of the container. The next layer, be very careful, and you'll see that the red and the blue aren't mixing because they have different densities. The blue is heavier than the red. We'll add the green, and you can see even when it drips into the red, it comes back up to the top because the green liquid isn't as dense as the red liquid, and the denser liquids push the lighter liquid up. And now we're gonna add the yellow, which of course has no sugar in it at all. And there you go. All the layers stay separate. If you put it on a light, you can really see it. Liquid densities. Now, let's max it out.
Ta-da! The longest length of liquid layers. 12 liquids all organized by density. Starting from the bottom, we have honey, corn syrup, chocolate syrup, maple syrup, dish soap, whole milk, water, dyed blue, vegetable oil, extra virgin olive oil, rubbing alcohol, baby oil, and lamp oil. Liquid density. I really want to mix it up, but it took me a long time to make this, so I'm not going to. Our first 2 attempts at a tinfoil boat haven't gone so well. Husnia's idea is to make a tinfoil boat and add some more structure, because the tinfoil just wants to collapse when I get in it. So we start with a large piece of cardboard on the bottom, then we wrap the tinfoil around it and shape it into a boat. After that, we add some supports across the top to stop it from folding in when we add my weight to it.
This boat feels a lot stronger than the one I was just in.
I told you.
So how does all of this work?
So we got some support using broomsticks and then some cardboard paper. And then underneath we have cardboard.
And so how will all of this help the boat not sink with me in it?
Right. The broomsticks will prevent it from folding this way and you won't sink.
Good.
The cardboard will prevent it from folding this way and you won't sink again.
Not sinking is my favorite thing to do in the tinfoil boat. All right, so let's try it.
Let's do
now,
it.
Are you gonna get in this one?
I'll tell you what, Phil. If you get in and you don't sink, I'll go after you.
Deal.
All right.
All right, here we go. It's sort of working. Oh no, water's coming in. It's sort of working.
It's almost working.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
No!
Hold on.
1, 2, 3, go!
Another thing I learned is that a very light tinfoil boat can be very heavy when it's full of water.
I don't know if fixing it is in the cards. I think we're gonna have to build another boat. So what do you think we should do?
Let's add more structure.
More structure.
Oh, yeah.
What if we add like a metal rod around the outside and maybe some more metal rods and ribs and we wrap it all in tin foil, and you think it'll work?
Let's give it a try.
Let's give it a try.
Don't worry about it. I got this.
No, I'll get it. I'll get it.
Sure.
Who wants to do an experiment with diapers? Oh! No, I'm serious. You may have a little brother or sister at home, which means you probably know where you can find some diapers. But there are two things you need to remember. First, ask an adult if you can use the diapers for your experiment. And two, only use unused diapers, okay? Okay. So, you take the diaper, and if you cut it, be very careful, maybe get an adult to help you, over some black construction paper, like I have here, and you shake the diaper over the construction paper, you'll see that there's a little powder that comes out. And this is the secret ingredient. This is super absorbent gel. And what it does is it soaks up all the liquid, and diapers are full of them. And you carefully pour it into a plastic cup, like that. Now you can see I have already done it with a number of diapers. It's important to use a plastic cup because it's a little messy, although it's non-toxic, it's totally safe, but it's still easier to clean up by just throwing the cup away. Now, add some water, and what happens is this super absorbent gel absorbs the water and turns very quickly into a paste. Look at that. Now, let's max it out. 5 kilograms of super absorbent gel, 500 liters of water. Now, it is time to do science! And I have my own stir stick. Yep, definitely coming along. I'm not exactly sure if we're getting anything on this camera, but I want to make sure it's recording. Yep, it's recording. There we go. It is definitely turning solid. Well, there you go. The giant super absorbent gel experiment. Corey, Trevor, I need some help getting out. How many outfits have I been through in this episode? How many outfits have I been through in this episode? Anybody have a towel?
There you go.
Thanks, buddy. That's great.
Husnia's idea of adding structure to the tinfoil boat was definitely right. We just needed to go further. So we did it again. This time, we made a much larger boat. We started with a sheet of cardboard, then wrapped the tinfoil around and added some metal supports taped to the cardboard across the boat this way to make ribs, as well as some other supporting pieces in the front and the back. Then another metal rod all the way around the top, and finally, supports across the middle.
All right, feel how strong it is. I'm really excited about this version of the tinfoil boat. What we did is we used thwarts, big hard pieces of wood that we did last time, but this time we have ribs.
Ribs, right, which are made of a cardboard, a metal rod attached to it,
and shaped, and we did a whole bunch of them that go the whole length of the boat. And then we used all of this bendable metal, and we have one that runs all the way around the gunnels, and a whole bunch that run down the inside, and we even used bike fenders at the front and the back of the boat to give it super rigidity so that it hopefully won't go like all the other boats have done so far. Are you ready, Husnia?
let's do this.
1, 2, 3, lift. All right, let me get over. It floats, but that doesn't tell us anything because they've all floated at this point. It's only when I get into it. Okay, here we go. All right. Hey! Hey, it works! All right.
Oh, it's working.
Ha 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 ha! Look at that! It works perfectly. The tinfoil boat experiment has been done. Science Max, experiments at large. What do you think, Lucia?
The only reason I got into this boat because I knew it's gonna work.
Really?
Oh yeah.
So you knew you would never get wet? See, I don't think that's fair. I think it's time that you got wet. I think we should go. I think you and I should just get wet right now. Just need.
Someone help.
You're still dry, aren't you?
Okay.
That is so unfair.